Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Brianna, and here's her story. Hey, Ollie, it's Brianna again. I didn't want to write to you until I had a hopefully good update, but some things have been happening, and I thought I would type it up and send it to you and get your advice. I also feel like I should have put a trigger warning before the last video. Sorry for not doing that. And I suppose there should be a warning before this one as well. I finally feel like I'm acting like an adult. I have started going to my doctor's appointments on my own and doing everything for myself. My parents have been everything but supportive. Like I stated in my last email to you, I have liver disease and other health issues that I have to get checked a few times a year. I found a new gastroenterologist, or as I call them, a liver doctor. I have not had my liver checked since 2013. I am doing good, though, thankfully, but when I told my parents the fantastic news, they did not seem happy. My dad is hard to read, but my mom is different. Before I got my results, she saw the tests in my online medical chart, which I showed her. She does not have access to my medical files, nor does my father. She started ranting about how my doctor did not check my liver levels and said that's what you get for trying to be independent. My main goal is to try to make sure I am okay not to be independent, although you could say that word does somewhat apply to me now, and honestly it feels great. I have severe anxiety and it is a challenge at times, but relying on Uber and strangers makes me feel more comfortable than going to doctor's appointments with my parents. They always make me anxious before appointments, and since I'm not allowing them to take me, I have felt better. Yeah, so like whenever you try to gain independence, everything you do is going to be wrong. Always. When I got home from seeing the dentist last month, my mom had a full-on argument with me. She looked at my laptop and saw I was looking for a new gastroenterologist. She went off and I did not give in and called her out on her bullshit. She was trying to make me have a fear of needles, which I do not have. I get blood work done a few times a year. How could I be scared of it? And she stomped off. Since going to the doctors on my own, even though she has not taken me since 2013, except for the gyno. When I had to have my first pap smear, my mom kept saying how I was going to get my cave dug in. She kept saying things like that, basically saying how my vagina is loose. What is wrong with these fucking women? Holy shit, these are women doing this to their daughters. After my appointment was done, she said how I probably enjoyed it and how I was probably flirting with my doctor. Talk about inappropriate. I told her how I have issues with my reproductive system and I had to get that done. She said, whatever, I never go. I hate it. Oh, great. Her pussy must be fucking wonderful. Her pussy must smell fucking lovely. Ugh. She got a bunch of fucking cats chasing her everywhere she goes. Fucking nasty pussy. I just ignored her until we got home. But that is something that has stayed with me, unfortunately. Yeah, her dirty pussy. Her dirty pussy would stay with you. I am pretty sure my parents are scared of me telling people about the things they have done after this is out. It's pretty much all out and all over. I can't wait to see how they act when I start seeing a therapist. Now back to the original email. My sister and I were eating dinner waiting for our dad to call because he was going to take us to the park. I was eating dinner, which happened to be fish. Psst, you sure? Sure it wasn't your mom's stank-ass fucking box? You sure? Sure it was the fish smell. It wasn't your mom. I was eating dinner, which happened to be fish. My dad called and asked me what I was doing. I told him eating fish. He started laughing and saying, I don't need to know that. I told him I was eating food and my mom was across from me. And I looked at her and said, why do you guys have to make everything sexual? Ugh. She said, well, you're the carpet muncher. That's right. Brianna said I think she said she's bisexual. This same day, my dad, and I don't know why you would tell them that. The same day, my dad picked up my sister and he took us to the park afterward, and he went to a gas station to get candy and drink. I was picking out my candy, and I picked up a king-size Kit Kat, and he said, why are you getting that one? I said, I like the king-size ones. Before I could say, because I like to eat half and save the rest, he blurted out, your mom does too. Ugh. I was disgusted and said nothing and put the candy back and walked to the cash register. Both my parents have been very sexually inappropriate around all four of the children they share together, but their main focus has always been me. I remember being talked to about sex at age 4. I asked my mom where babies come from, and she gave me details I did not need to know at that age. My dad would also have tons of pornography, and my mom would always have tons of sex toys. They did somewhat try to hide these things, but they would tell me not to touch their things. But if they caught me in their bathroom looking at a magazine, I would get in trouble. But my mom would be smiling. My mom began calling me a whore because I was wearing a red sweater for a Christmas party at school. Oh, by the way, I was 5 and my aunt was there amping it up. I have been the whore, slut, tramp, harlot, hooker, prostitute, streetwalker, and pretty much any other word to describe a promiscuous female is what I've always been called. And since I came out, gay slurs and insults, I am not an overly sensitive person, and I do not get offended easily. But we were talking about parents here who are not funny. But if I say anything, I'm uptight and have no sense of humor. My dad never joined in on the name calling until last year. We were out for Thanksgiving and we drove by a strip club, and he told me I needed to go to work. So I guess to him I'm a stripper, and to my mom I'm everything slutty and disgusting. I also tried to tell my father about my sexual abuse. I broke down while I was on the phone with him. I told him that there was a lot happened in my childhood that he did not know about. I told him some stuff happened to me. He basically did not want to hear it. He kept asking me if my mom's boyfriend did anything to me. He hasn't, so I said no. He was trying to figure out who did stuff to me. When he was going through names, I told him how my aunt was at the house a lot when I was a kid. After that, he really started to brush it off and dismiss me. My sadness turned to anger, and I realized he did not care. He kept saying how if nothing is happening to me, then that is all he cares about. I realized talking to him was a stupid idea. He has been talking about the aunt who abused me a lot recently. Before and especially after I talked to him. He says how she is more attractive than my mom and pretty, makes many talks about how he wants to fuck her without blurting that out. Hearing him talk about the abuser, that disgusted me, and while I'm typing this is making me nauseous. Kind of like Kennedy's mother married her molester's son, who then molested her. These women are just fucking horrendous. Update on this. On my birthday, my mom and I had a fight, and I ran out of the house in the rain. He came, picked me up, and I told him about my aunt molesting me. He seemed shocked that it was her. He said, how is everyone going to get there, and how she is getting hers now? He said everyone will get theirs and how she is getting hers now. He says she looks ugly and is having financial issues. What I wanted for him was for him to hear that and talk to my mom about it and ask her if she knew. I told him I think she did because my aunt would have me in my parents' bedroom while my mom was in the kitchen. You cannot notice your child missing. I do not know, though. Maybe I just want someone to know and do something about it, but that person is not going to be my father or mother. They did not care then, and they don't care now. Although I have not talked to my mother about the sexual abuse, mainly because I think she will just act like it didn't happen again. Of course she will, and of course she knew about it. They all knew about it. Typing these is always difficult, but I know that it will hopefully help others and me as well. And to answer a few questions people asked and you asked, I cannot drive and it will cost a lot of money for me to, and I am not comfortable with it being legally blind. Well, if you're legally blind, you can't drive. I was born disabled. Nothing happened that made me disabled. You asked where my father was, and he was either at work, was out cheating on my mom, or doing drugs. Both parents have had and still have drug problems. Nothing like heroin, but apparently my father dabbled in one point, or at least that is what my mom said. They both confess they are sober, but I know better. But their drug involvement and drug use is a whole different story. Also, my mom flipped when she figured out I was going to start getting my SSI check. I will update you on whatever happens with that, though. Yeah, because she sees you as permanent money as well. Permanent money and never take care of you. I feel stupid for thinking my father could be the one to take my sister and me away from this shit. He's just as bad as my mother, and I knew that, but now I'm beginning to accept it. I thought there was some good left in him, but I was very wrong. This man who physically abused me, who dug through the trash cans and found my pads and tampons and would yell at me for it. The man who was never home when I was growing up, and when he was there, all he would do is have his weird friends over drinking or yelling at my mom. When I tried to work through this and see the good, but there is none. A word of advice for others: do not hang on to the last string of hope. Cut it and burn it. With these people, there is no hope for them. Sorry, this is scattered. It's not. Thank you in advance for any advice you may give me. Thank you for reading this, Brianna. You know, the narcissist flying monkey's never going to save you, Brianna. Never. They all knew about it. Your father's just nothing more than a flying monkey, sexual deviant. You come from sexual deviance, and your parents see you nothing. Your mother primarily sees you nothing as nothing more than an SSI check. That's it. She could give a shit. She could give a shit. But the narcissist flying monkey is never, ever, ever gonna save you. Ever. So you're just wasting your breath with this animal. He's part of the system. He's in the circle. So he needs to go with the rest of them. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and another story, Brianna. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you guys. Without you, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.